Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here with me today. I have a hot take to start off this video. Are dupes not really that exciting anymore? Like, are there so many things coming out where maybe there's an obvious dupe and we're like, I can totally see what Elf just tried to do there to Charlotte Tilbury. Sometimes they're so blatant or so kind of copied, like we've heard them before. Maybe they're just not that interesting now. I will tell you, a video I did several years ago on dupes would get way more views than a video I put out now about dupes. Part of that is I think my viewership is becoming a little more niche, a little more like, certain people want to watch me. But even so, it just seems like there's a little less zest for it right now, and I think what maybe is even more compelling is thinking about those drugstore products that are better than high-end, that aren't just matching up, that aren't just becoming an exact dupe for something else that's already on the market, but something that's being put out that's being done in a better way somehow. And given the quality coming out in the drugstore right now, this is the kind of conversation I could be having with you guys over and over. Like, I've got a bag full of things today. I could probably, sit and think about this some more and come up with some other things too. Personally, I still like the idea of dupes. I think dupes are fun, but I think the concept kind of gets watered down when people aren't really delivering real dupes, and then I think it makes the viewer think, well, what they told me was a dupe wasn't really all that close, so do I really care? But then there's also just the obvious nature of a lot of things too, where did we really need so-and-so to get on YouTube and tell us this thing was a dupe for this thing when I could pretty much figure that out on my own? You guys are smart. So I'm just going to take you through a few things that just occurred to me are probably better than higher end equivalents I've also been using. One of them that comes to mind is my Maybelline Perfector 4-in-1, the Glow Makeup. And basically, I think of this as glowy primer with a little bit of like a skin tone mixed in. This has often been in the conversation as being a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. But when it comes right down to it, what's left on your skin? Just a sheer, soft, thin glow. And I think the thinness, I've said this before, is what makes this so special. As you dab this on, it is thin. So if you're not wanting to add a lot of added weight to your look, but you still like the glow, this is a perfect option for you. And I consider it a better alternative to a number of other glowy primers that I have that cost more. Immediately, I'm pulling out stuff from brands like Rare Beauty and Say, and I feel like this is thinner but gives the same effect. Somehow this did the job in a much more efficient way. And maybe you're wanting a lot more juice and a lot more hydration. If that's the case, then maybe you're like, I'll take all the juiciness I can get. Okay, but I feel like this is a little bit more of a unique need perhaps, where a person does want to glow, but maybe their skin can't handle layer upon layer of thick stuff. And I just feel like this is so unbelievably thin, blends in beautifully, can look really pretty, frankly, on its own if you're having a really good skin day. I wear it in the shade Light, and I have just loved it so much, and I've used it a lot as a primer, and I do feel like I have some really good staying power days when I use this too. So to me, that is ranking higher than some of my glowy high-end primers. Another thing I absolutely love, and I don't have anything else quite in this tone. I've got some other high-end glowy bronzers, but I swear this tone is so perfect. It's the L'Oreal Lumi True Match Bronze It Sunkissed bronzer for face and body, so you're getting a big pan here, and it's the deep shade. Guys, this is beautiful. It is such a perfect depth level, and it doesn't look muddy on the skin, but yet it's just not ever too orangey either. Today when I put this on, I actually had put on some Persona stick in Dune, and I let that really chisel out some places of my face, but then I put this on over top and I'm like, oh, I just always love the finishing touch of bronziness that this adds, and it can really contour too. Like if you wanted to use this and this alone, I think you'd be pleased with it, but it does have that slight satiny finish that I think is also really flattering, and if you're going for a glowy look, like it falls right into that. And I'm enjoying it more than all of these high-end bronzers that I have. I have the Too Faced Natural Chocolate in the Caramel Cocoa, and so this claims to have that same kind of finish, but I don't like the tone as much. I do like my Huda Glowish here, but I think the L'Oreal Lumi is more effective showing up color-wise. I think there's just a little more ease of use compared to this Kosas. This almost wants to be a little bit metallic if you go too hard with it. I used it in that Shop My Stash the other day, and I feel like you make it work when you go really light with that stuff. But this, I mean, drugstore price range, very easy. It can be harder to find this tone that's just a little bit more on the cool side. Just love it. Absolutely love. These I've talked about before, but they totally fit into into the better than high-end conversation, because I do feel like these liquid blushes and bronzers from the Face Off line from Hard Candy, I think they're better than the Charlotte Tilbury stuff. Okay, you got contours. I love the shade Sweet Tea for me. Blushes, color called Born Yesterday, and then today I applied the one that's called Who Is She? And what I love about these so much is they have a beautiful glow on the skin. I guess glow is the theme today. They're lightweight, easy to blend, don't set too fast on the skin, so you can dab them around. You can go over here, take your time, come over to this side, and it won't have already set. But also, this is big, y'all. It's a doe foot applicator, and I'm really getting tired of the things that are squeezing out through a puffy tip. They're messy. They get messy around the cap. There's sort of a wonderment of exactly how much am I getting on my skin at a given time. Here we know, you know, dot, 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 dot. Like, it's very obvious and it's neat. It's just easy. Someone at Hard Candy had the sense to say, I know we've been doing doe foots for a while, but I think it might actually be the best way to make this product. Yes, it is. So formula is great. Pigmentation is wonderful. I like the different shades. I also have a deeper color in the bronzer. I have an even lighter shade of the blush. These are just probably my top 3 things that I'm holding up here. It's an excellent formula, but also a much better delivery than the other things that are squeezing up through those puffy tips. Also on the topic of blush, and I love Laura Geller. Laura Geller is the OG of baked. Does amazingly beautiful baked blushes, baked bronzers. However, Essence is coming in hot with these beautiful pure nude blushes. They're baked blushes, and they're actually a variety of finishes. I have a couple of examples here of like my favorites. I really love the one called Bold Heart, and this one is going to give you like a soft satiny finish. I wore this in a recent video. It's just completely stunning. The pigmentation is so there. They're so soft, very easily blendable, but like really what you see is what you get there. And then the shimmer in this shade called Pink Flush, this is really pretty as well. And it's kind of that blush lighter concept, also making me think a little bit about like the Beauty Bakery Cotton Candy Champagne palette, but also, you know, the blushes I've used from Laura Geller that have that beautiful glow, that baked texture, but it's baked but not dry, okay? So this shade definitely loads you up on the shimmer on the cheeks, and it almost looked like I was applying highlight when I put this on today, but it does have color too. I've put this on with nothing previously on my cheeks, no cream blushes underneath, and it really looks beautiful. There are tons of options in that line. I really don't think I've hit one that's been a total dud, but it really makes me think Laura Geller on a budget, but it's actually really, really good. And I think maybe what takes it over the top a little bit is that fun shade variety that they're offering. There are so many different shades, and at that price you feel like maybe I can try more than one. So it didn't take me long to put 2 and 2 together and realize that these Hard Candy, these plumping Insta Pout lip balms, which hopefully they're showing up on Walmart's website by now, but I definitely found them in person with the magnetic closure. They're being sold in a little box. I have the shades Colossal Caramel and Plush Pink. I put on Colossal Caramel today, and these are just like the Buxom lip balms. You know, Buxom has some jumbo ones, and they've got a real rounded tip, and there's one that even kind of claims to shade adjust to your lips. And back years ago at holiday time, they put out their lip balms in some beautiful, like, limited edition shades. They had a more neutral one, they had a berry, they had a red, they had the shade adjusting one, and they were in this kind of size, which I really like. I like this size for application even more than what I would call the giant stick that they're currently putting out. So here Hard Candy's like, we're gonna do that exact same formula. It feels just the same texture, just the same cooling, but a format that's even more just like, yeah, throw it on. We're gonna give it an actual luxurious weight to the tube. These feel more expensive than the current Buxom ones, okay? This pink one's really pretty too. I hope you guys can find these in your Walmart stores. If you like a cooling sensation, a smooth, luxurious moisturizing balm, great for summer, definitely check them out. Again, the one I'm wearing in this video is called Colossal Caramel. We love Estee Lauder lip liners, but why are these Hard Candy Insta Pout lip liners better than those? I know we're on a bit of a roll here with Hard Candy, but just hear me out. These are retractable, these are not. Both have that handy little brush at the other end, which I love. I love that they're doing that. If you're just wanting to kind of casually put some lip liner on and then spread it around, it's so easy to do that, but it also helps blend lip liner into an existing look, into an existing lipstick you've put on. But here with my Estee Lauder, as much as I love it, I do have to sharpen it. And here we've got all that staying power. Guys, I have tested these up against my Revlons, which I think Revlon is pretty much top of the line when it comes to long wearing lip liners, and these can hang. I'm serious here. So what I have is like a classic nude, a deeper cool nude, and a deeper warm nude. Those shades are perfect match. That's your nude nude. Deeper cool nude is called First Move. That's the one I kind of like took around the outside just to sort of show you. And then Kiss and Tell is kind of your toasty, more cinnamon nude. Are there other shades? I believe there are, but these are kind of like essential level, especially these two for me. And do you see how with some of these things, it's not only about the quality of the product, but the packaging design can really come into play as well for what makes you see one thing as above another thing. And here, you know, if it's going to have the staying power of a double wear lip liner or of a color stay lip liner, and it's giving me that little bonus brush, I love it. Last thing, I didn't put on false lashes today, but I do have a lash glue to mention. The Ioni Everlasting Lash Glue for $1.25 at Dollar Tree. I have used this constantly since purchasing. It has not irritated my eyes. It is latex and formaldehyde free. I have gone and purchased 2 backups from my local Dollar Tree. It's great, and it goes across the lash band even thinner and with more ease than my Esquito. So I like this better than Esquito. I like this better than pretty much any other glue I've used. I suppose in this conversation you could say, well, you know, Kiss or Ardell are more expensive than this. And frankly, I've had irritation when I've used Kiss or Ardell, but I get along just peachy keen with the Ioni. If you find yourself in a Dollar Tree, try to pick that up. They also have those liner pens which come out black and you can put them on your lash line and it doubles as eyeliner and the lash glue. It's a perfect price to try things like this. And if you're new to false lashes, like stock up at Dollar Tree. They have some nice styles as well. This is not to diminish all the different lash styles they're offering, but this is like where it's at in terms of glue. Definitely give it a look. It is such good quality. And that, my friends, is my little roundup on products that I just feel are operating even better than a high-end level. I tremendously enjoy everything I've talked about. I know some of them have been talked about before on here by me, but you know, not everybody sees every video. These are some important things to know about. And I'd love to know your take in the comments section about dupes, about how you feel about them. Do you love a dupe now as much as you ever did? Or do you feel like many dupes are watered down and not actual dupes? Or maybe you're kind of like me and you're thinking, you know, I think the conversation goes beyond dupes now because Drugstore is doing it so well. I think there are many ways in which we can find something better at the lower price. That's kind of where I'm at for the time being. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.